Welcome, Wally. Thank you so much for coming on here. You won your preliminary round. You won your roast battle last night. So you've earned a spot on the podcast. Welcome.
Congratulations.
Thank you. You did a great job, man. Yeah. You really wrote well.
Yeah, all the comics did that, on the preliminary, man. They brought the heat.
Yeah.
They brought the heat.
I think the only comic that wasn't as prepared was JP.
Yeah.
I think he was the least prepared of any, but not that he wasn't, because he had jokes for some he just didn't write for, and then.
Which reflected in him losing the loser's bracket.
Yeah. That was hilarious. He took it with grace.
Yeah, he did.
That was a good time. That was a really fun show. That was our most attended Scoundrels show we've ever put on.
Right. That was crazy. So thankful for anyone that came to the show. And if this is your first time watching the podcast or listening to the podcast because of the show, we love you so much. Thank you for joining us. And of course, anyone that's been listening a while, you're our sweet angels. We're working on some Patreon stuff to give y'all some extra stuff, extra goodies.
Absolutely. Patreon.com/Scoundrels Live Stand Up. You can check that out. We're going to be putting some more stuff up there. Also working on a website where we can get our merch up to where we're not just going to have Scoundrels shirts, but koozies and hats and partially cooked shirts and stickers and everything else. It's going to be a lot of fun.
And I apologize in advance if I'm anyone's Scoundrels podcast first experience.
You're going to do fine. Wally's a little nervous, okay? Yeah, so everybody be gentle with him. How long have you been doing stand-up, Wally?
3 months now.
3 months.
3 months.
That's a baby.
Incredible.
Just a wee little thing.
You've got great writing for 3 months.
Thank you, man.
Very good. Very good. What made you want to do stand-up?
Honestly, it's something that I've wanted to do for at least 15, 20 years. I've always studied stand-up, and I'm always, writing jokes, but it was just something I never had, the nerve to do.
Right.
And honestly, this year, just kind of, my depression got to a part that I was like, there's, nothing to be scared of. Just fucking do it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the worst that'll happen is...
Could I swear? We didn't ask you.
You swore?
Yeah, I said
no.
swear.
Fuck!
We didn't
God
cover.
damn it, Wally.
On
fuck,
YouTube.
Okay. God damn it. I don't know the rules.
Yeah, you can swear. It's fine.
Okay.
Fuck yeah.
So 3 months. So you were depressed, and you were like, you know what? I'm going to kill myself. Still depressed, yeah. I'm going to kill myself anyway, so I might as well get this over with, because this isn't going to be worse than that.
Yeah, that's the gist.
Okay. I mean, I can relate to that. Sweet. How do I want to ask this? I know you're brand new. What is one of the best moments you've had so far on stage?
That question's actually difficult to answer, because I'm even still so uncomfortable that I
Make sure you pull that mic up to your
I
mouth.
feel like I kind of black out on stage, and I'll get off stage, and I was literally can't remember telling the jokes. Yesterday at the roast, I thought I did bad after, because I was I can't remember any of the jokes. Did I tell the jokes right? It's because I'm just still in this a fight or flight.
I can tell you're nervous when you had the prop and you were handing it. What were you handing Kelly? What was that?
Gum. I was offering her
That's
gum.
right. I was sitting behind him, and when he handed that gum, it was like. It was just quivering.
Yeah.
Like a leaf in the wind.
And I already had it in my right pocket, and she ended up being in the left, so I had to do this way over here thing, whereas it was going to be a more casual off over here.
Gotcha.
Here's some gum.
It's funny. It's funny that you were focused on that. No one else would have thought about it.
Yeah, I didn't know what pocket it was in.
But I thought about being yeah, you looked really dumb when you did that.
Yeah. That's how it felt.
But I can tell you're legitimately nervous.
Yeah, that's
about
exactly
it. It was a funny joke you did with it.
Yeah.
The thing that made it bad for me was the shaking. You've got to deliver that with some fucking conviction.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, man, I got I got a little too drunk for it, and I was that's why I was really bummed on that. I wish I just would have not drank at all, and now I feel I don't think I'll drink before a set again.
That's good advice for anybody starting to stand up.
It just it slowed my brain down, so I wasn't there for any what could have been a comeback for one of hers. I could have had some, and I thought of some in retrospect, but I was just had
Yeah, no one's ever been like
compromised my
Right.
I'm super glad I drank a shitload last night. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Well, and like fucking I drank because I was so nervous of doing bad, and then it made me feel like I did bad, and I was like, that's just peak irony. So
Right. Yeah, it's
just
a
I've gone-
double-edged sword.
Yeah, I've gone full
And
circle.
once you get a little bit more experience under your belt, you'll get more comfortable, and then you can have a couple drinks or a drink before you go on stage, just to kind of loosen up and kind of just flow and be a little natural, be a
Yeah,
little
that's the
calm.
sweet spot.
But especially when you're starting out and you're learning, and then you get on a crowd like last night. Like we had a great crowd last night. We had over 60 at the Looney Bin, and
It felt a lot more. It felt like a
packed house.
Yeah.
It felt great.
The energy was high. Dre won again, second time champion. Dre won.
You got any thoughts about that?
Dre
Seth?
won.
Seth, you did a great job
Hey,
too,
thank
buddy.
you. Thank you. I know I did.
You did so good
said
that I was worried because I was like, "Fuck!" Like if one of us wins the damn thing,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
super sus.
That
That's
would have
not
been
good.
weird. That would have been weird. But Dre. I feel like Dre ran out of jokes with me. Like that last thing, he was just kind of mumbling and didn't have it.
He had
yet.
already won the crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That, I mean,
He didn't have to try anymore.
Yeah.
Well, there were
Like-
somewhere like he'd make a joke that was just kind of off a word in your joke, like you just
Yeah.
go off of that
Right.
to
Yeah, I wrote it for him.
conjure a joke real quick.
It's good. I'm glad to know I won both the losers bracket and the winners bracket by feeding Dre jokes to live on stage.
Yeah.
But ultimately, we want to put on a good show, and it would have been weird if I won. I don't know how the fuck we'd do that, because if I beat Dre, man, who's coming for me, man? It'd be
I
tough.
am.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody is.
That'd
And
be it.
I think this coming month for yours, make sure you write some jokes for me because I'm gonna throw my hat in the ring
Stepping in.
and
Yeah.
compete just like Seth did this
Yeah.
month.
Hell yeah, dude.
I'm ahead of you on that
That's
one,
fun.
actually.
Yeah, you told me you already have a
Yeah,
couple
yeah.
written.
It was a very fun experience seeing it from the other side. And I think we're just going to keep Trey Diesel as like a guest host for a while, right?
Yeah, I mean, at least for
He did great.
he did great
It
last
takes
night.
a lot of the weight off of our shoulders.
Yeah.
For one of us to be able to do stuff in the crowd and one of us to be producing. And so, yeah, man, like, I think that's great. If he
Yeah.
just wants to be our house MC for this show for the foreseeable future,
I like it a lot.
that works really well.
And he's really not interested in the roast anyway, so
or the podcast or
no, I think he'll come on the
Oh, will he do the podcast?
Yeah, I just don't
Okay.
think he wants to do the roast battle itself.
We'll just have to do like a special episode for him where,
we can introduce him to the podcast listeners.
right.
Absolutely. I love that
Absolutely.
idea.
That's because he's such a he's awesome, man. He's like become kind of a prolific Little Rock comic with his following, and like I think he's a big reason we had a crowd. Like he's one of the many reasons we had a crowd. A lot of people, a lot of moving parts went into making last night work.
Yeah.
So we appreciate everybody that was there, everyone that gave away tickets, everyone that went out in the streets and talked to people. So like I know Trey was posting like crazy in random Facebook groups, like garage sale groups and shit, like just all over the place. So
Yeah.
It was good. It was good.
It was really good. Wally, where are you from?
I'm from Hattiesburg, Mississippi.
Hattiesburg, Mississippi. You're from Mississippi?
Yeah.
When did you get to Arkansas?
Last October.
So you hadn't been here long.
No.
Were you in Mississippi your whole life before then?
No, I have a Air Force dad, so I kind of moved around a lot in my early years.
Okay.
My dad's from southern Mississippi, and my mom's from Natchez, Mississippi, like middle Mississippi. So that's where they're from. So moved around Air Force shit and ended up back at my dad's hometown.
Okay. Cool. So
that's
what
where
brought you to Arkansas?
Work.
Gotcha.
So,
What do you do for a living?
I'm a dog trainer.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
No shit. What
Yeah.
kind of dogs?
Just pet level dogs. You know, anybody's
Okay.
pets? Yeah.
I raise a lot of duck dogs and coon dogs.
Oh, yeah.
I love hunting dogs.
Oh, that shit's hard to do. Like, hunting training is, like, just really advanced.
It's just
stuff.
repetition. You just got to do it every day.
Yeah.
As long as you do it every day and like just add one more step than you did yesterday.
Yeah.
Like by the time a dog gets ready to hunt, it's just, especially if they're bred right, like it's just instinct.
Yeah.
What
That's
are the
true,
best
too.
breeds to train? Who are your favorite breeds of dogs? Because you're doing mostly just obedience training.
Yeah.
right?
So labs and goldens are great. Or it's, they they want nothing more than to please you, so you can just use your own engagement as a reinforcement.
Right.
Labs are the fucking best. I love labs.
Standard poodles are actually really good because they're super smart, and it's kind of funny because I did bathing and grooming for like 8 years before I got into training, and so I fucking hated poodles because it's like so much more
high maintenance.
Yeah, than most other dogs. But then when I got to train them and I didn't have to bathe them, I just got to enjoy their personality. They're actually like really smart and fun dogs.
Nice. What's the breed of dog that when you see you're like, this bitch, why'd you bring this fucking dog in here? Like, what's the worst?
I mean, there's like your 95-pound lady with a 150-pound like Newfoundland Mastiff or like some big dog like that.
Yeah.
That you're just like,
something that outweighs the owner.
You know, because they're gonna get water skied across the road.
They're desperate for your help.
Yeah.
Well, so much about what goes into a dog is the dog has to respect you.
Right.
And if that dog's been dragging you across Little Rock for the past 3 months, it's not going to fucking respect you.
If you weigh less than a 7th grader, you're going to have a hard time.
I mean, there's always the people that like will tell you what you're telling them is wrong. And it's like, why'd you come?
Yeah,
here?
why are you here?
For my information. Yeah. Like, no, I read that you do it this way or this. And it's like,
well, then you train.
Yeah, do that. Then buy the online program, whatever. So,
that's cool. Do you like now? Do you judge other people in public when their dogs are acting up? You're like, wow, you're doing it all wrong.
Yeah, I can't help it,
dude. That's not. If I see somebody's dog acting up and like they tell it to do something and it doesn't do it, I judge them hard as fuck.
Wow, my dog is a free spirit. You know, he's one of the family. He does listen though. I feel like it's good. But that's what no, he doesn't. No, but a lot of Mastiffs do listen to us. So sorry if Wally offended y'all.
No, we love the Mastiff community here.
I've been to your house. Your dogs are chill. Like, I didn't judge you for your dogs when I was there.
They're all right. But now I want to like bring my dog around you and be like, how am I doing on a scale of like 1 to 10? How's Rico? You know.
Well, like you said, like hunting training and training it's all just consistency.
Yeah.
And
and 90% of hunting training is obedience training.
Right.
It's I need to give you a command and you need to do it when the fuck I say to do it, and that's it.
Right.
Yeah. It's just the chunking of it. Like I was doing a graduation in New Orleans. So it was my first training job. So I was there. We're in a public park. I was doing the graduation. And off to the side, there's a guy working his duck dogs. And you go and, like, just yeet fucking the duck decoys, like, far off.
Mm-hmm.
And then send the dog off on him. And, you know, he might go that way. And he'd give the command. And the dog would just, like, a 90-degree turn over left to it. And I'm, like, over here with my dog, like, and here's now he can sit. And look, he gets on the picnic table. And this guy was like, geez, that's so much cooler.
The coolest thing about the dog, I had a dog named Chief, and part of his training, we would use those bumpers, but then we would wrap dried pheasant wings or dried duck wings on them, and then throw them into tall cattails or tall brush or something and train them to scent them too. Because a lot of duck hunting is, you shoot a bird, you ain't going to always tell where that bird's going to fall. Sometimes it's going to fall in the middle of some thick shit.
Right.
And you want a dog to be able to go in there and find the fucking bird.
Right.
And that was really rewarding and really fun, going from him not being able to find it to him never losing a bird. Like, that was something, because anytime I would always go duck hunting with people, I would have like a super sense of pride where I don't care about shooting birds at all. I'm here to work my dog and see my dog do what he was bred to do.
Right.
And that was like a really big reward that I got out of it, was the scent training for it. And mine, I could get him to where I could change directions on him, but it wasn't on a dime. Like, we were definitely still working on, because once they're out there on a retrieve, I could hit my whistle and he'd turn back and look at me, and I could send him in the direction.
Right.
But, I would try to send him back at 45 degrees and he would cut straight 90. So, like, we had to
Had to adjust.
Yeah.
But these are conversations you'll never have with a cat person. You know what I mean? Like, it's fascinating. You're like teaching your dog to do this crazy shit, and cat people are like, "No, I just don't think so. Mine shits in a box under the sink."
We tried to train this cat to go hiking, and boy, that cat don't like the outside.
Yeah, my cat too.
She'll just lay down. You can drag her. You can do it. Like, she will not. She's like, fuck it. This is what I'm here for.
I fucking say my cat doesn't like the outside, but this dumb fucking bitch spent the night outside. I told you yesterday my cat's missing.
Did you find her?
Yeah, we went out last night.
Good.
Kara was laying in bed. She's like, she's outside. I can feel it. I could feel it. And I was like,
She's not missing. She just left.
you
She's
demon,
a cat. She
you
doesn't.
demon witch.
She might be a witch.
Yeah,
like, if
no,
she
that's-
could feel the presence
Bro,
of
we
the
went
cat.
outside and she's looking around. She's got horrible eyesight, so she's like, I don't see anything. And I'm like, she's right here. She is right here. She's sitting right there. She was sitting right there by our fire pit.
Like, how the fuck did you know that?
Yeah, I was like, what is going on? But then I went to get the cat, and she was like, and I was like, what the fuck happened?
She had an adventure. She had a character arc.
She got fucked.
Yeah, she's a different cat
She's
now.
like, I'm my backside's
She got cornered
sensitive.
by a possum somewhere and ain't the same.
That was a fucking spot on impression too.
Yeah, that was.
Saw it.
I was like, are you a cat right now?
I saw.
I've scared your cat. She's like eyeballing me now. But no, Kara went out. She's fucking just and like the cat went right up to her and carried her in. I was like,
What was that? Was that a spell?
This one good. She fucking spoke. What's the snake language on Harry Potter?
The best? No, is it best?
Honey,
No, because that was the.
It starts with a P. It's got a P in it. Parcel tongue. That's
Parcel
it.
tongue.
There it is.
Yeah, exactly. She went out and fucking parcel tongue the cat, which sounds sexy. Get the fuck away from her. Do you ever work with cats at all, Wally?
No.
Yeah, fuck
no,
'em.
No, yeah, fuck 'em.
Yeah.
How long have you been training dogs?
3 years.
Gotcha.
It's crazy you don't talk about that in your set at all. Your jokes are all very topical and like pretty highbrow. So what's your joke writing process like? Just in
Man,
conversation?
yeah, I wish I was like a lot more disciplined about it. If I would like sit down and be like,
Right.
this is
We all
joke
do.
writing time. Most of it is like the kind of the punchline. I guess the pun or the wordplay is what comes up first, and then I kind of like reverse engineer it to
I
like
see.
think of the setup
That's
to make the
interesting.
pun work. But there are like sometimes if I'll think maybe of a premise that I think is funny, and then I'll at the end try and find like a way to word play it.
Right.
But yeah, more often than not, it's like the kind of the end of it, the funny part, hopefully, is what comes first, and then
That's cool.
Then you go
That's
backwards.
Like you're like a Quentin Tarantino of stand up.
With
You're like
Yeah.
you're doing the punchline
Yeah.
first.
just
Everything
as
comes
many
up.
He
N-words.
keeps writing chances for him to use the N word.
Right. And look at feet. I can't stop thinking about your voice. You said you moved around the country. Like, it's no dialect. Like, you sound like you just got in a car crash.
Oh man,
Man, it was crazy.
So I lived in England from age 3 through
What?
6. Yeah, and
I'm guessing not England, Arkansas.
no, like
No.
England.
England.
Yeah. And so I had to take speech for 3 years to get rid of
Your English accent.
Yeah, my English accent.
Oh, man. Why didn't
Yeah.
they just let you keep it?
Dude, I know, because, like, once I hit my 20s and realized, like, what effect that has on women, I was like, you fucking bitch, Mom. Why would
Well, you
do
can
this?
still speak with it. Can you like draw it back? Can you
No,
like?
there's no, it's dead. It's
Oh,
gone.
it's gone.
Gone.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's a bloody shame. And it's fucking, but like they missed such an opportunity to have a British kid. Like that's one of my favorite Nick Swartz jokes. He's like, I wish I had a British kid. It's like you can't be mad at a British kid. It's like, Daddy, I we eat me britches. It's all right, British kid. You're fine. That's one of my favorite shit. Like,
Now, when you're training dogs, do you work for yourself or do you work for a company?
So kind of a long story, but currently, the facility where I was at has merged with a lady that does private lessons and group classes and stuff. So, it's kind of me and her and the owner, which is the guy who it's a big warehouse that's on a guy's property.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay, cool.
Like a big dog training facility?
yeah, like 40 by 60.
Wow.
So
Where they just train dogs, or they do other stuff too, like grooming and
no, it's just training.
just training
Yeah,
dogs,
just
the dog military?
Yeah, boarding.
Do y'all like do the trainers? Do y'all roast each other? Do y'all like break each other's balls or anything like that?
Not with this one. I hadn't really even like hung out with her enough to.
Gotcha.
kinda be-
Do you
Okay.
ever like roast
To
the
be there.
dogs? Like,
Oh,
oh, here's Caesar. He's a retired police dog. He's probably gonna shoot the black labs. Keep the black labs away from him.
it hadn't occurred to me, but now I feel like it's unavoidable.
Right. I
It's
feel
just
like
gonna
also a
happen.
retired police dog doesn't need obedience training. That's probably
Yeah.
the best dogs.
Yeah. So, coming out of Mississippi, and I guess in England, you probably moved around a lot. So you probably were a new kid a lot. Like, did you get made fun of a lot?
Well, but it was like all the young years. Cause I was in Mississippi by like age 7.
Okay, and then you were Mississippi from then on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Up until like late 20s, I moved to Houston. I lived there for 3 years, and then moved back home, and then got into training. And I lived over the last 3 years. I lived in New Orleans, here, Fort Smith, Seymour, Missouri. That's like this little Amish town.
So you're like a dog training hobo. You're just getting on a
Kinda.
train and getting on after it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
All
Hell
over.
yeah.
Which is great. You know, the experience, life experience. That's where
Just
the best comedy
tumbleweed.
comes from.
Yeah.
Who would you say is like 4 of your favorite comics? If there was like a Mount Rushmore of your favorite comics, who would you put on that?
Man, that's a tough one.
I don't give a shit.
I
Answer.
I think Patrice for sure.
Patrice O'Neill, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
One of the
That's
best
great.
roasters of all time.
Of all time.
My God.
Anthony Jeselnik, because of just the his writing.
Right. I
Um,
like Jeselnik a lot.
Doug Stanhope, I think,
Stanhope,
is another.
Okay.
Hell yeah. Seth got the open for Stanhope.
Many
no
moons ago.
shit.
Yeah.
Dude, that's amazing.
It was a good
I only
time.
got one spot. There's so many good ones.
We may get him back, dude. He's been talking about going out on the road again and doing those weird shows. So like, we may get Stanhope back again, and
That would be cool.
that would be very fun.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things where the stars have to align, and he's got to remember us. But his agent definitely remembers us, so because we made him a lot of fucking money.
Yeah.
So,
That's badass.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. But yeah, okay, you got Patrice, Jeselnik,
Stanhope. Who's number 4? I noticed you hadn't said a
I
woman
want
yet.
to
Are
say,
you sexist?
well, no, because I was. That's what I was just saying. I was going to say, because Sarah Silverman's Jesus is Magic is one of my favorite specials. So I was like debating. I was like, does she get like a spot on the Rock? Because it's like one special. She has like a lot more career than that. But that was kind of what I was basing it on.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it could be from one special.
Yeah.
I mean, it's your preference and what stand-up like really speaks to you and which comics have resonated with you.
Yeah, I'd put her up there then for that one.
Silverman?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a good choice. I think that's the first Silverman we've got
Yeah.
Yeah.
as an answer to that question.
I think that was all original. We haven't had anyone say those 4.
Norm, of course. I know I missed a spot, but yeah.
We're
Norm's
throwing
up.
a 5th
Yeah,
name
Norm.
up there. It's fine,
Norm's
dude.
gotta
It's
at
your
least
Mount
be-
Rushmore.
Yeah, Norm's got to at least be mentioned. there.
Fucking add as many people as you want. You can fucking make it like the Avengers.
Yeah.
There's 7 of us.
So,
Yeah.
you didn't really move around a lot. You were in Mississippi. What did you get made fun of the most in school?
I was into like punk rock and skateboarding and stuff. So I had like the mohawk and that
Oh,
stuff.
okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sounds like you were cool though.
Nobody else. Thought
Not
so.
in Mississippi.
But in Mississippi, yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, who the fuck is that kid?
Yeah. And now it's like flipped on its ass. Like that's fucking looks cool now, and that's
And the kids and the fucking nut huggers are the nerds.
yeah.
The kids that are bringing their guns to their school in
Yeah.
their pickup, they're the ones that are ostracized.
Well, like
now.
skateboarders are celebrities now. Like they're in the Olympics. Like
Right.
it's, yeah, completely different than the what riffraffs we were in the 90s, and 2000s.
Did you
and
do
stuff.
anything like? Were you a pretty good kid, or did
No.
you get in trouble a lot?
Got in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What'd you get in trouble for?
Man, fuck it. I can't even really remember mostly. In school, I think I just didn't pay attention to stuff. I would just like fall asleep and stuff. I wouldn't like doing pranks and stuff. I would just not pay attention.
Gotcha.
And talk back. So.
Talk back to the teachers.
Yeah. So I guess.
A lot
those
of comics
two.
get in trouble for talking
Yeah.
and talking back.
I feel like you would have been like more well mannered, considering you're like British. You are British. Like, they can't just say they can't just change your accent and you're like all of a sudden not British. Like, dude, if you at one point had a British accent, dude, you're fucking British.
You're a Brit. Yeah.
You're British, so it's in there. Do you like tea? You're drinking tea right now.
Yeah, that's true.
Fucking dude.
But it's cold and sweet.
I don't care.
So.
You transferred that tea from one container to another.
Hey, that's sweet tea. That's American tea. All right, that's pretty American.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give it up for that.
I'm from Mississippi. You drink tea.
You're from England. Don't fucking
So.
get it twisted.
forever now.
Yeah, forever.
I love it.
All right.
Wally.
Yeah.
Wally.
Yeah.
Bring it out.
It's Welsh too. So.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it.
He didn't even pay attention in school, and he knew that. I paid attention in school. I didn't know that was Welsh.
I had to Google it.
Oh.
So.
Nice.
Well, okay, so you got made fun of for being a punk rock kid. What are some of like, if I was to come to you and say I'm your therapist, right, and like you're being 100% honest with me, like if you lie or say anything that doesn't resonate true with you, you got electrodes to your nuts and they get electrocuted off. Okay, so that's the constraints of this question. What would be
So
like
there's no pressure.
no pressure at all? What would be your 3 biggest insecurities now as an adult?
God damn. Man, I feel like like as men we're expected of, it's like where you're at in life and your like career and stuff, like, I don't have a house now and like not exactly the car I want, I'm not living where I want, like, by my age I should be like settled in and stuff, and it's probably, it's just shit that I'm attacking myself with, but it seems like there's kind of like that societal pressure, like that's kind of what like a man's worth is kind of gauged on.
Yeah.
Is that so
I'll tell you what though, man, I got a lot of fucking respect for somebody that can feel that societal pressure and say, look, I know I'm supposed to, go work for this company and like get a house and get it, but to chase what you want to chase and to go after the life that you want to live rather than sticking to what this cookie cutter mold of what everybody expects of you, that garners a lot of respect in my book.
Yes.
Appreciate that, man.
Fuck yeah.
Yes.
What about your other 2?
I got 2 more.
And maybe less of a deep one, like
Yeah,
what's something
yeah.
that like as you're walking around you're like, man, I hope no one notices this.
Yeah.
Hope no one's like, ooh.
Yeah, it doesn't have to
Yeah.
be deep. It can be shallow
but
insecurities.
man, that was like,
Oh.
you worded that first one so well because I was like, yeah, me too. Fuck yeah, dude.
It's like, yeah, let's change the fucking subject.
Yeah, we can just edit
No,
it.
bro, you're chasing your dreams, okay?
We just edit it to that be the ender one.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it's like, we got 2 more. I don't know, 'cause they all kind of just like revolve around that one, I guess. So
Okay.
yeah, I mean, just that. But no, I need 2 more.
That one
Give
like
you 2
stems.
more?
That one
Oh,
like
yeah.
that
I
one,
know
like,
it. I went too
causes
hard on the
everything
first-
else.
Yeah, that one causes
Yeah, I went
the
too hard on
Yeah,
the
triggers
everything
from
else.
everything else.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's like one of your biggest fears? Like, and it could be anything from spiders to failure. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
70-pound bitches
Yeah.
with 150-pound dogs.
That one's like a hard one too. It's like depressed suicidal person. It was
Right.
like, because your biggest fears are because like it'll harm you, and I'm just like,
right.
yeah, all right, bring
We
it.
have it.
Yeah. just like, but a fear, man, heights, honestly, like,
Yeah, heights get me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
so
I'm not a fan
yeah,
of
that one
heights.
fucks with me. The obvious one, like public speaking, that was kind of, that's my whole
Interesting.
setback with the whole, doing this.
You
is-
fucked up.
Yeah. I'm so bad at
No, but
public-
again, man, like I get and like I see that you're scared to talk to people because like I've seen you from day one coming in to where you're like really nervous and shaking, but like you keep coming back, you keep fighting through that adversity, and you keep getting better and you keep getting more comfortable with it. And I see you facing that fear all the fucking time. So like I'd like hang your hat on that, man.
Yeah.
Like that's something to be proud of. That's
Thanks,
not.
man.
That's nothing to like. That shouldn't hold you back. You should look when you get up and you feel scared like you're about to go on stage. You should look at how far you've already come in the short or
Yeah.
relatively short
Yeah,
3
definitely
months you've been
try to
doing it.
Definitely just try and keep that perspective.
Yeah, because like I said last night, you were literally in a roast battle with what felt like a packed out loony bin.
Yeah.
and to the point where you're shaking doing your gum bit, but still won the fucking roast battle.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, so you should definitely draw
But
some
then I got
confidence
off
from
stage
that.
and thought I felt terrible. I had like bad dreams about it.
That's just 'cause you're a
Got
comic.
it.
Okay, that's
I got,
every
like,
comic.
Imposter
Yeah.
syndrome
that's-
over it. It
Yeah,
was like
that'll never go away. You just
I've like minor league jokes in the major leagues. It's like,
Oh, yeah.
everything.
Well,
is
remember,
shit.
at the end of the
Fuck.
day, we're still, I don't want
nothing about this show is the major leagues.
Yeah, I don't
by the
wanna-
way,
I
I just
don't
want
wanna
you to know
No,
that.
I just mean like in the like caliber of jokes. I feel like they're that, in the minor leagues, like yeah, sure, my jokes are doing good, but like, just feel like everybody else's jokes were like
Oh, dude,
a
I've
higher
been-
caliber, just more.
You're just in your
clever,
head.
just
Yeah, you're
better.
really
Yeah.
in your head. I thought your
So-
jokes were like fucking platinum tier. I've been watching a lot of fucking roast battles, old roasts from back in the day. And man, some of them are dog shit, and like but your shit's very well written. So hang your hat on that as well. How many hats you got?
Y'all just gave me 2.
Nice. There's another. You need a hat rack, man. You're gonna.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. I feel like in the short amount of time you've been doing it, you're already doing great. So, and you also know like what you want to improve on. So,
Right.
That's
Yeah.
a big thing I see with stand-ups that are new is a complete self-awareness, like a lack of self-awareness. They have no idea. They think they're God's gift to the earth, So the humility you show and the, actual dedication to writing, that's cool. And I see you all the time now. Like, I like that. I like seeing you at shows.
That's the only way to get good is to
Yeah.
keep doing it.
Yeah.
Like,
keep doing it. Keep going to shows.
quit wearing shorts on stage. Like,
I don't
Man, I run hot. So I've never found an antiperspirant.
well, if you ever want to get up to the major leagues, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
Allegedly.
wore shorts to last open mic, and I was one of 3 people that told a necrophilia joke. So like you kind of think you're wearing pants to like honor the craft, but like it's dick jokes too, And I feel like
That's a fair point. But there's just like a professionalism. That's like, just wear pants.
I used to be like that too. I used
I'm
to be
only
that,
like
the-
this
the
because
pants.
I wore short. There's pictures of me when I first started about 3 months in wearing shorts on stage, and I got eviscerated
Yeah.
by all the older comedians. And so now it's my turn.
Right.
Yeah,
fuck
I've-
them. I hope.
I've heard my fair set of mentions about it.
Yeah.
But
It's
like I
it's
said,
kind
dude,
of faux
I
pas.
run hot and I'm already like so nervous about it that like I don't want to add like
Dude, be
body
comfortable.
temperature into
I mean,
another one.
Winter
Don't
is
change
coming.
who you are based
just
off of what
always wear
anybody
shorts.
says.
Right.
Yeah.
So I wear pants like 2 weeks out of the year as like a necessary evil because it's too cold for shorts.
Mhm.
Like, just like shorts.
It gets
Well-
pretty cold here in Arkansas.
Yeah,
It does get cold.
Yes, I'm not used to anything like below 60. So
I don't know why I just thought of this, but like, have you ever said to anyone from Mississippi, like, "Are you from Mississippi? Because you're the only Mrs. whose piss I want to sippy." No.
no.
You know that old adage. You know
Yeah.
that common expression. What?
I don't know. Just thinking about cold Mississippi winters, maybe. Like, I don't know where I got there. Man, Wally.
Yes.
Do you say, where do you haven't been doing it super long, but is there any time on stage where you just like really sticks out in your head as like, ooh, that went bad?
Yeah, I had one set where I just did 5 minutes of suicide jokes, and it was during Pride Week, which is also Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, but Pride Month and Men's Mental.
I was curious when Pride Week was.
Yeah, Pride Month.
I was going to come back to that.
Yeah, we'll get there. So, narrow it down.
Ooh, did you hear that? Wally's against the gays.
No, they're jokes. We're telling jokes. But so yeah, it's also that month, and so I was like, I'm just gonna do 5-minute suicide set, and then like end it with like Happy Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. I chickened out by that point because it did so bad the whole way through.
Was that at the joint?
It was. Yeah. So.
That's fun.
Yeah.
So
it went as I expected, though. Like
you kind of touched on it there, but what is your most bigoted opinion? Like, what's something that you think that may or may not get you canceled?
Answer honestly. The electrodes are hooked up to your nuts. Remember that. Yeah. We ask every comedian that comes on the show, just because of the wild answers we get, like your most like deep down bigoted opinion.
Well, I just mentioned the gays too, so that's a bad one off into. But kind of one thing on that one, I feel like you have trans people. I feel like that's genuinely what they're going on in their head.
Let him cook.
I feel like they're genuinely like that's in their belief, and if transitioning completes them in life, that's great. But I think that there's a separate sector of people that are just doing it because it's such a trendy thing now, and it's like become a protected class. Like, I can't make a trans joke right now. Like, look, every real tense now because we're talking about trans. And so it's not equality if you can't like make fun of a class of people. Like, now you're become an above class than everyone else. So I think it's just like a fun thing to do. So I think you have like trans people, and then you just have like posers that are doing it because I don't know, maybe it's like easier than
some
like
trans are posers
yourself. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
that's a good one.
faking it.
I love that.
So didn't Lucas like not believe in
His is very similar,
non-binaries?
yeah.
His is like non-binaries.
Yeah, he was like non-binaries or a joke or something.
Yeah. And you did, you're not racist. So you're doing good,
Yeah.
And I think you can make fun of trans people. Again, it's just
I've got a trans joke.
It's just got to be funny, It's got to be undeniably funny when you go with those very risky topics.
Yeah, it's got to be so funny that people are like, whatever you said in the setup, people are like, okay, clearly this is a joke. Right. This is clearly like just a clever haha.
Right, and trans people laugh at it too. Like, that's the most important thing. Maybe. I don't know. I've seen bad trans jokes. Boy, howdy. I've seen a lot of bad trans.
Boy, girl, howdy.
Boy, they, them, howdy. Is fucking bad. So
in your 15 years of career, yeah, I believe it.
Oh, dude.
Like,
there are some jokes that literally I am about to fall asleep at night and I think about them. And it keeps me up for another hour. I'm like, fuck. Like, so yeah.
What's one example?
I will not tell you. I'll tell you off so like the listeners don't have to hear it, but like I will tell you it. But I feel like every time I tell it out loud, the devil's in hell like with another fucking chalk mark. Like, there's another fucking cinder block I get to shove up his ass when he gets here. Every time he tells that joke. You're fucking idiot.
Did you write this joke or did you just hear it?
No, I heard it at an open mic in 2012 in Fayetteville, Arkansas at the UARC Bowl.
Oh, like exactly when and where.
It was 8:47 p.m. He was like the 12th comic of the night.
This was your 9/11.
Who was this?
He doesn't do stand up anymore. It was some goth-looking kid. Looked like he was the singer from The Cure. Like, he had like an oversized shirt on and just kind of like was looking down the whole time and was just like, yeah, fucking rape's funny.
And then just fucking dropped a bomb that
exactly.
has lived within.
But it's not like it's
kept you up at night.
God, it's a pretty detailed joke. We'll put it on the Patreon.
Yeah, you got to pay to see that one.
But yeah, it's like, and you know, as you do stand up, you'll learn, you'll see things, and you'll get to the point where, like, you know, at least I have, where someone not doing well is just as funny as someone killing it. Obviously, you want to see people kill more, but like, I've seen people that, you know, no one knew they were on mushrooms but me, because they fucking confided with me before the show for some reason. I don't know, like I look approachable or something, but like they'll come to me and be like, bro, these are kicking in right now. And I'm like, oh shit, what number are you? 3-ish? I don't know. The fucking words were popping out of the paper. Okay, cool. And then they get up on stage and fucking, this dude didn't even use the microphone. He just held it down by his side and like just yelled at the crowd. And it was like, and he told this like unlistenable story about lesbians.
Psychedelics and stand-up do not mix.
They don't mix.
I've been on stage twice on psychedelics, and both times was rough.
Yeah.
But microdosing and stand-up is.
I guess I'd give it.
It goes great.
I guess I'd maybe try that. I don't know. I'll try anything at this point. You have done it already.
Yeah. There was I did one.
Yeah, they're not
mic
drug testing at the kennel.
Yeah. I did an open mic at the rail yard that JP was hosting, and his like introduction for me was, he was like, the first time I saw him, I thought like, oh, I bet that's the guy that could get me mushrooms. And I was like microdosing on mushrooms.
Day?
Yeah, so I went on stage and like started with that story. So it's like, so sometimes stereotypes are on the head.
Right.
So you can go with that. Yeah.
Seth, that was a great question. I think that's something we should start asking every comedian. What is the worst joke you've ever heard an open micer tell?
Okay.
Because when you said that, like there's
in that case, I got to say mine then.
Go ahead, say it.
Fuck it, dude.
Viewer discretion. We're saying this is a terrible fucking joke.
We'll put a note and like skip to here. So he was just like talking about 9/11. He's like, don't you think 9/11 was the perfect time for opportunistic rapists? You son of a bitch, Wally. Right. And then he goes into detail about like, oh, of course she's distracted. Grab her, you know, like this is I was like, my God, give him the light. Who's got the light?
Did he ever get to a punchline?
No, of course not. It was just shit like that. It was that.
Like, oh, so if a building's falling and a chick's watching it, I could rape her.
Exactly. Like, where did you get to that on 9/11, dude? I'm like terrorists, fucking rivers of lava, inside job. No, he's like, I'm gonna have an inside job.
Usually,
likes it or not.
Right.
Yeah.
Usually, when you take a really difficult topic, you go like, I'm going to make a 9/11 joke, or I'm going to make a rape joke. Right. Never you're like, I'm going to make a 9/11 rape joke.
Yeah. This is going down in history, boys. I'm making the first hybrid joke.
Never forget.
This is the Prius of jokes. Fucking sucked. I hear that one all the time.
Huh?
Yeah.
Guess Building 69 went down. No, don't do that one. Never
Building
mind.
69. Stop it. Yeah, that's what I hear sometimes as I'm falling asleep. I'm like, oh, I remember that guy. I hope he's dead.
Mine was at the Comedy Store in the OR during their open mic, and this is when like they have like 10 open mic spots, and this is all the open micers are up there while they're seating the room. So door guys are walking in and seating people and each open micer has like 3 minutes, right? God. And one of the guys is a mixed kid that calls a individual in the crowd a monkey and then offered them a banana.
Oh my God.
And like it wasn't funny. It was like the guy got pissed. Like the guy was like ready to fucking fight.
Right.
Was that Kramer?
No, this was, I don't remember his name. I mean, he was like 18,
wild.
17, 18, which I mean, he was a kid trying to be edgy. Like that's what it was. Like I don't feel like he had any like evil in his heart or anything. I think it was just a young kid that was like, I'm going to say this super edgy thing thinking that's funny, and it did not go the way he thought it was going to go.
God, that's stupid.
Yeah.
I think I was like, I just got here. I literally just walked in, man. God.
I was shocked because like The most racist things I've ever heard, I heard in Los Angeles. I didn't hear them growing up in this house. I heard them in Los Angeles. And I'm counting what my family said at the dinner table.
It wasn't fucking buttfuck Arkansas. It was L.A. Liberal California.
Yep.
Is where that's I was up in Fayetteville,
So figure that
known
one
for their
out.
liberal bullshit. That freedom of speech, man. It's good.
It's a beautiful thing. I would never change freedom of speech.
We love it.
Because like if somebody's like, oh, I'm an idiot, like you want them to be able to say that they're an idiot. That way you know, like, oh, hey, that's clearly somebody we shouldn't listen to.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
It brings the great yin and yang to comedy. Like those dark moments make the good comics that are writing beautifully, getting laughs for all the right reasons. That makes that so much more special.
And it makes you appreciate it more.
Yes, it makes you like, I went through the fucking trenches to get to this. So thank you. I appreciate you.
Wally, do you have any shows coming up you'd like to hype up before we get out of here?
I'm just doing the open mics at the Joint on Tuesdays.
Nice.
Hell yeah. And on September 30th, you're going to be at the Looney Bin competing for the Partially Cooked Roast Battle belt.
That's true.
Don't forget that, 8 p.m.
Doing your 7-minute
JP,
set.
make sure you bring that hat back because I'll need that. But yeah.
August 31st, I'll be at the Joint featuring for JJ Molinaro.
Oh, hell yeah.
He's headlining. Last time he sold it out, so I'm hoping this show also sells out. So if you want tickets, you better get those quick. You can get them at the Joint's website. But I'll be that August 31st. And then September 13th, I'm going to New York City. I'm doing a show at Grove 34. I'm going with JP, Scott, and Zach, and we've got some New York comics coming on it. They're going to be really funny. I know Alan Fitzgerald said yes. Sean Connolly. I don't think I'm saying his name right. I need to look that up, make sure. But anyway, he's going to be on it too. We've got some others that are going to confirm later. So
that's badass.
Yeah, it's going to be really fun.
Congratulations on that. I know that's like a big milestone.
Thanks, buddy.
So that's going to be cool. Hopefully, so if there's anyone from that area, I know like even DC is like a 2-hour train ride. Like,
oh yeah, Dre told me last night. Dre is in DC that week. He's probably going to take a train up and be on the show as well.
That's crazy.
Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah. So yeah, man, come and check out our current roast battle champion, Dre.
Absolutely.
Before he loses his belt to Bair on.
Let's go. I'm taking it, Dre.
One of us are going to get it.
That belt's mine.
We have to keep it in-house.
Have to. Yeah, we can't let Dre move off with the belt.
Right. He's
I'm not buying another belt.
This shit's mine, son. I got it. I wear it in the shower.
Well, thank you so much for coming on, Wally. We really appreciate you.
Me.
Really looking forward to see you back in the roast battle on September 30th. And thank you guys so much for listening.
Yeah.
See y'all next time.
Love you, boys.
Love you too.
Take it
Peace.
easy.